All right, Zach, thank you for that very important report. Let's go ahead and show you some of the news today in the weather world. Now, I talk about grasses drying out and the oncoming fire season, but I think it's helpful to see this with your own eyes, especially at scale. So this is a satellite image from the very end of March. I put in a couple labels here so you can kind of see what you're looking at. There's the Bay Area, there's Clear Lake, there's Sacramento, there's Lake Tahoe. You get the idea. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because fast forward to just yesterday, and you can see the general browning out of the natural grasses, especially on the west side of the valley, north of Sacramento. Also, that snowpack is starting to shrink because the snow is melting. Now, this area becomes important because this is the exact area where we're going to see some stronger wind gusts today. Now, it's not a true red flag warning, but the grasses are drying out. The winds are going to be fairly strong there. The air itself is going to be dry with humidity in the lower teens like yesterday. Now, we do have a legit red flag warning for Southern California, the desert locations, and portions of Nevada, Arizona, Utah, but the wind pattern is going to be with us today. So we're going to be looking at two areas of wind. In general, it's going to be a breezy day. That's for most locations. That's the Delta, that's the valley floor, and also the foothills, just a little bit stronger north of our area. So that's the wind today. It'll be breezy. There are impacts with this. Breezy for most locations, a little bit stronger than yesterday. Pretty strong north of Sacramento, and the impacts for you, how it affects you. Pollen, high pollen counts, allergies may bother you, and also that one area with a higher fire risk. Not a red flag warning, but higher than you would think in April. The temperatures are warmer than yesterday, in the 50s. That's warmer than average. And our highs, we've been in the 80s for a while. We're now slipping back into the 70s, much closer to what we expect this time of year. Remember, this is spring. This is what it's supposed to look like. Green grasses, plants thriving, everybody's happy, and the temperatures are coming back more in line with what we expect. Just watch out for the wind later on today. Now, I do want to show you one extra thing today because there's a lot of moving parts. In the mountains, because of that cooler air moving in, we have instability. At elevation, that means some pop-up showers, maybe some thunderstorms with hail, and yes, even some light snow. But the road surfaces are really warm. They retain a lot of heat from the days prior, so if it snows, it'll fall, stick to the vegetation, probably not the road because the road retains more heat and it melts. This is going to be for today and tomorrow. And then once we move past that, it's all about this. Folks, this is not my favorite thing to show you, but we do have a big warming trend once we get into the weekend and beyond. Today, it's kind of mixed for the foothills. At lower elevations for the foothills, I would say about 3,000 feet and lower, we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds, highs in the 60. Once you start to move north of 80 and also higher in elevation, we do have that late in the day chance for showers and or thunderstorms. There we go, Brittany. I've been talking about it all morning long, but if you haven't seen it, a stretch of low 90s maybe this weekend and next week.
Ooh, it's going to be warm.